Welcome, Paul Sor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming into the podcast studio.
Absolute pleasure.
I'm not sure if you even know this, but Paul was the Member of the Year for the Facility Management Awards last year
Very
in
honoured,
Australia.
very humbled.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So
Huge.
that's what sort of piqued my interest when I reached out to him. But there was a whole lot of other stuff that I just thought, this is valuable for facility managers because you've built a fantastic career in facility management, asset management. Got an amazing network, some amazing ideas and concepts, I think, that not only they don't go against the grain, but they're just, I think, healthy ways of doing facility management. So I'm excited to talk with you, and I think
Thank you very much.
our listeners will get a lot out of it.
I think they're going to be excited. And it's a different perspective as well.
Yeah.
Not for profit, it's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So tell us a little bit about your career, because right now you're in the charity not-for-profit space, but you haven't spent your whole time there.
No,
So
not at all.
tell us a little bit, about how you've built your career.
I actually started out with a Bachelor of Commerce in Accounting, Finance and Marketing, and I worked as an accountant for a couple of years.
Riveting.
Look,
Love numbers.
yeah, I sort of looked at the person who was supervising me and the person that was supervising them and the person that was supervising them. That's what I wanted to do, and I wasn't going to wait 10 years to do that chain, so I got out.
Yeah.
But it was the best thing for me because I can actually write a business case that makes sense.
Yes.
And when I go to someone and say, I'm going to take your advertising and marketing dollars, and we know that 50% is going to get wasted, I know which 50% is going to get wasted, and I don't do that, or try not to do that anyway.
Yeah.
So therefore, having that grounding in business has meant that I can push things through that make sense, that get a return on investment, which is not something that everyone can necessarily do.
Yeah.
It's a great skill to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So you leave the accounting world.
Yep. Went into FMCG and product marketing.
Yep.
I was managing 80% of West Australia's mushroom market for a while, so it was good training for management because they kept me in the dark and fed me. Learned to do that, and then I came across to worked in services marketing for a while, and then I came across to Melbourne as marketing manager for an electricity company, and then went on to marketing manager for Medibank Private, and through marketing I went into channel marketing, and from channel marketing I went into the development of sites and the strategy of sites and leasing, and from there I then went into FM.
That is such a
roundabout way to get there.
Yeah. Wow.
So I call myself a specialist generalist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Know a lot about many things.
Yeah.
There are people, if I'm sitting in a room with a marketer or an accountant or a FM person, they'll know a lot more than me in depth. But in terms of across the breadth, I've got a wide variety, and that's part of what I do.
Yeah.
Understand the breadth of the business and bring together the disparate people and the disparate conversations. Oh, I heard you say that. Well, did you know that they're doing that? Hey, look, let's get that person and that person talking together.
Yeah.
And suddenly you become that person to solve business problems and create the paths and smooth the roadway for people.
Yeah. We talk about that a lot on this podcast. I feel like most guests talk about the idea of a facility manager being that connection point. They don't have to be an expert on everything, but they at least have to have some knowledge on all the aspects of the building, or at least have an expert they can call on for every area.
And know when you're being hoodwinked.
Yeah.
That's an important aspect.
So you've gone from the creation of the spaces and being part of that side of things, the dreaming up of what the space could look like and what it would mean, and that marketing side, to then now managing the sites. Have you noticed one thing I see in the industry a lot is, and you'll probably have a very different perspective on this, is that spaces are designed and then facility managers inherit a design space without any consultation in that process, and oftentimes they inherit things that just aren't designed well for management. They're designed well to look nice or to tell a story, but then they're the custodians of this space that they don't know how to look after it.
I've gone into an organisation, I won't say which one within my career, and they've got some panelling outside on a building, and it's wood panelling that's painted.
Yeah.
Now, why aren't they using wood? okay? So that's going to last. It's going to last 10, 15 years before you need to do anything to it.
Yeah.
Or they're using broadloom carpet rather than carpet tiles or carpet
The
patterns.
bane of our existence.
And so there's products you can use, and so it looks great, but from the maintenance side, that's one aspect. The other aspect within facilities is, pardon me, people always want you to move a blooming wall. And it's the wall that's got the cabling on it. It's the wall that's got the air conditioning thermostat on it.
Yep.
It's the wall that's got the pillar in it.
Yep.
It's the wall that's the most costly to move. And why move the wall? Your business doesn't necessarily need to. So it's about designing spaces and designing it to meet the purpose of the business, but not the purpose today and the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so to do that, you need to look at human-centred design. You need consultation. You need to understand what the business is going to do. And you put that forward. So more recently, I designed the Red Cross National Office.
Yeah.
And I designed flexible spaces, and people are going, why are we having this flexible space? What's this wall for? And well, this room here is a training room day to day, but you don't need it set up for an emergency call centre when you don't have emergencies 12 months of the year. You might have them 1 month of the year.
Yeah.
So let's use this room as a different function.
Yeah.
And let's have an operable wall. Operable walls are more expensive, yes, but look at what we save within our rental footprint. So going back to the business case, how many dollars per square metre to have some space sitting there empty, how many dollars for an operable wall? If I can have flexibility, if I can talk to you and your department about how you're going to use the space and how often, I can go, well, you're not actually fully utilising the space. Well, hey, Sam, what about your department? How do you work, and how flexible can you be if he needs to come in?
Yeah.
Karen needs to come in for a month. Can you flex? You can. Okay. Well, then what do we need to do to make that work? And what's your standing equipment that you need in the room? And what's your standing equipment that you need in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talk to me, Aaron, about how you work on a daily basis. What is it that you do? What is it your staff do? What are your pain points? What makes your job frustrating, and how can I design the building to alleviate some of your problems? You tell me about yours, Sam, and then bring them together, and then you make a design that is actually flexible and works for people.
Yeah.
And create an environment that is functional, but at the same time enticing. So that building, they've increased their occupancy rate, depending on the day, between 30 and 50% of people coming in, more people coming into the business.
Yeah.
Just because they got a new space that they like.
And it works for them.
And it works
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
So I did a PIR, and tell me about the things that you didn't like. Oh, well, the worst thing was a couple of the chairs were uncomfortable, and we swapped the chairs out. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And we wanted to add in an additional Teams recording area. You didn't put it in that room? No, because we had to value engineer to a budget. So, but I put all the cabling in the wall.
It's ready to go.
All you need to do is just screw it to the wall. You don't need to do any recabling. Oh, you've already put that in there. Yeah, because we talked about where we're going to be using this room down the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's...
It's about having that vision of
Looking forward.
It's not just about opening day and the photos that'll get taken and the ribbon that's going to get cut.
Correct.
But it's about the people who are going to be using this space, managing this space, living and working together in this space.
Correct.
In the future, we were at a facility recently, and this facility manager who had inherited the space, one of her light bulbs had blown.
Yep.
And to change the light bulb,
Let's get a scissor lift into the
scissor
building.
lift and a $600 Italian light bulb that you got to lower
Yeah.
things down. Oh, yeah.
So she goes, nope, we're getting rid of the light. So she went and got this beautiful strip light that she can just grab a hook and pull it over and change now.
Yeah.
No scissor lift required.
Yeah. It's not going to cost her $3,000 to just do one globe.
Architecturally beautiful, but functionally
And-
long-term crazy.
We're walking through thinking, this light looks beautiful, which is the light she chose.
Yeah.
So you can have both and, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is what I think is what you're saying. You've talked about the Red Cross. So you're primarily now in the charity and FP space, which
Yes.
I imagine is quite different to the commercial corporate facility management settings on a number of issues. What would you say the biggest difference is between managing facilities in the NFP charity space and the corporate space?
Let me start by saying it's 80% the same.
Okay.
Where it's different is we've all heard the expression, you work on the smell of an oily rag. In not-for-profits, they don't even give me the rag. Okay, it's just the smell drifting. And that's the amount of budget that I get, right?
Yes.
And so you've got to make it work from that perspective. So that's one aspect. Budgets, everyone says their budgets are tight. But when you're relying on donor dollars and you've got COVID coming through, when you've got cost of living increases, donations plummet.
Yeah.
And so that has an impact. Compliance is no more or less important.
Yeah.
However, compliance when your brand is relying on donations is a very big issue.
Yeah.
We all know the vehicle is a workplace, manslaughter laws, etc. If I am taking your donation and you see my car going through a red light on Channel 7 News and it's T-boned somebody else,
Yep.
you're going to think, well, they're not.
Those
taking
regular
care of
donors
those.
are pulling their donations
Correct.
pretty quick.
Whereas if you're a large corporate, people are they understand that there's hundreds of cars on the road and stuff happens.
Yeah.
But donations are an important aspect. So
Yeah.
one of the key things is that I say to the people that I work with, both suppliers and staff, we are the custodian of donor dollars. I can ask you, Aaron, for a donation for VACI RSL Care, which is who I work for, and I can legitimately ask you that and tell you where it's going to go to. And if you find out that we are paid in the top quartile, or that we have bonuses, or that we have Tim Tams, you're going to go, no, I'm not going to donate to you because you're.
No,
not
I want you to have the
using-
Aldi version of the Tim Tam.
yeah, correct. But you still need to get that right. So when I talk to a supplier about the dollars, I say to you, look, when you turn up in your Ferrari or a Maserati, we're paying you too much. I need service from you.
Yeah.
I need quality service from you. You need a shirt on your back. I don't want you sitting there. I don't want to be looking at you for the next 3 years because I've signed a 3-year contract and you come in without a shirt, stark naked, because I've stripped you down in price.
Yes.
You need to have enough money to do the job.
Yeah.
I don't want you wearing a Xenia suit.
No.
I don't want you wearing a Kmart suit either. No insult to Kmart. These opinions are not the opinions of the producers, et cetera, legal liability, all the rest of it, disclaimer.
It's all right. I poo-pooed Kmart only a few weeks ago on an episode about moving their registers to this middle.
But Hugo Boss is about the top as far as we'll go in terms of what I want you to be making off me as a margin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I explain that to suppliers. I'll do a slight divergence. Negotiation is a different aspect.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have the freedom to form a relationship with someone based on what your mission is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's more heartstrings with the mission. People can get closer to it. They can feel it more.
Yeah.
So whether it's a social work program where you're looking after young mothers who are living on the street, are getting too much love, and suddenly they're pregnant with a child, and you can imagine your own kid or daughter at 14 with a baby, but these ones are homeless.
Yeah.
Or VACI, who I currently work for, we work for veterans and we want to treat them with respect and we give them accommodation.
Yeah.
And these are people who have put their life on the line for us.
Yeah.
And in their twilight years, some of them are struggling to find decent accommodation. So we're trying to give them dignity in their life and to say thank you by giving them some decent accommodation.
Yep.
You can identify with that a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The story's there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so sharing those stories. So when I negotiate with somebody and I talk about a car I'm going to buy, it's not I'm buying a car. It's about I'm buying a car because I'm going to transport someone and this is what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah.
Or if I go to the blood service, it was lifeblood. You can only donate blood during certain temperature range.
Yeah.
So if I call you on a 40-degree day to say the air conditioning's cactus,
Yeah.
I need you there pronto.
and a bank calls you to say the air conditioning's cactus,
Yeah.
The
Who's more important right now?
The bank worker is going to feel uncomfortable. I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will actually stop collecting blood, and that blood might be going specifically to a cancer patient.
Yeah.
Yes.
That affects lives.
Yeah.
So you, Sam, as the HVAC mechanic, can actually save a life by making sure the air conditioning is working for us.
Yeah.
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 That changes the paradigm for the tradies.
Hugely.
And suddenly people understand where they're working for.
Yeah.
And so then you can say to them, so Aaron, thank you for the quote for the carpet, or Sam for the quote for the carpet. I appreciate that. Sam, is that the best price I can get in the marketplace? Yeah. And you go, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. And generally the response is, well, it's the best price for your volume.
Yeah.
And I go, that's not what I asked you.
Yeah, if you had 1,000 more square meters, we could probably shave a little bit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could. Okay. Well, so are you still making money at that extra 1,000 square meters?
Yeah, of course.
Well, then can I have that price? Because I don't get a bonus. I'm paid in the lowest quartile, and every dollar I save goes to help a vulnerable person. So I need you to make money, and I want you to make money. But do you need to make that much money from this? Can you make that much money from this? And can I get the best price in the market?
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, people say yes. Because they understand where the money's going, and they can see that it's not going to Tim Tams and business class flights and all the various other things that are useful in a corporate environment.
Yeah.
People give to vision. Like, I think if they can see something worthwhile, and there's a life behind it, or there's something significant behind it, we're not just giving to some corporation's multi-billion-dollar profits again year on year. We're giving to actually change lives. I think it's very different, and it tells a different story. As a supplier, they could even be telling that story, right? Hey, look, we give our best price to charity. Any charity we work with, they get our best price. They just unlock it.
Yeah.
The other thing I ask suppliers is there comes a point where you can't lower your price anymore, and I don't want you to.
No.
Yeah.
Because you need to deliver the service. But
And you don't want them going out of business and not being able to service you.
But on the other side, Sam, you're a carpet business, so you've got a network, you've got layers.
Yeah.
Can they shave a couple of percent? You've got the supplier, the carpet supplier. Can they shave some percent? You've got the transport guys.
Yeah.
Can they shave something? If everyone shaves a little bit, we can give a much larger amount to go to the charity.
Yeah.
And so what I say to people is, what I actually want you to do is, I don't want you to give me the best price on your quote. What I want you to do is I want you to give me your price.
Yeah.
And then I want you to indicate rebate for the particular organisation I work for based on the fact that we're a charity. So we see the value of what you're giving, and we can acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And then get the CEO, the CFO, others to acknowledge that and thank the partners for that.
Yeah.
Because when you get the competitive prices in, you can see, that was a real price.
Yeah.
It's not that these guys are just cheaper. This is their standard price, and this is what they're giving us because we're a charity. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's sharing that vision. And so for me, those are some of the differences: how you negotiate, how you show people that you spend the money, and also because in the charity network, people aren't well paid, so they also need to feel that they're valued, and they do that through partly their environment. But you don't want their environment to be the dreck, because if their environment is the dreck, then you're not going to get the best people.
Yeah.
So you actually want to attract some of the best people. You often attract people who want to give back to society or have come towards the end of their career, or feel the need to contribute.
And that was going to be my question to you. So I imagine someone who's got the expertise, you've got the network you've got, you could be going out there getting a top paid job in the facility management industry. You're obviously choosing this, and this is you. I remember you mentioned it to me on the phone. Like, you're not paid as much as most other FMs out there. Is this a love passion for you now?
It's just rewarding. It's so much nicer to get up and know that you're helping somebody every day, and what they've done. It doesn't mean that anyone else's job is not helping somebody.
No.
Yeah.
You know, Philip Morris, who makes cigarettes that we're not allowed to talk about these days, they are helping somebody enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not demeaning anybody's product.
Yeah.
A bank is helping you live your life and build a house, and
Pay for your house, save your
give you some
money.
food,
Yeah.
and give you a holiday. If you can say, so everyone is helping somebody, but it's a lot more tangible. You can feel it a lot more when you can go and see somebody's house and help them, or help a veteran, or hear their stories, or hear how somebody in a social work perspective. I built some offices and social work premises in Arnhem Land. And you meet with the people in Arnhem Land, and you negotiate. I negotiated with the elders to get a long-term lease, and then said, well, if you give me a long-term lease, I'll build a building and give it back to you, so that we're not taking your land and you know that you've got it.
Yeah.
And this is what we're going to do, and these are the programs we're going to run. Are you comfortable with that? Yes.
Love
and
that.
so then you build premises that have got outdoor areas, that have got a fire pit, that have got spaces with shade, etc. So that's not your normal corporate building.
No.
Not
But
at
it's the building designed for the people who want
Will-
it and how they're going to use it.
The custodians of the building.
Correct.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it. You've built, I think, just even touching back on winning Member of the Year last year, you've built a career for yourself and a brand for yourself. And I think that's somewhat why you've been successful in this networking and being able to build that relational persona. Tell me a bit about that. You're wearing a hat.
Yep. Very subtle. isn't
Very
it?
subtle hat,
Very,
yeah.
very subtle.
Barely even
We had
noticed
to
it.
move the camera back just to fit you in the frame.
Very
Just a
subtle.
wide angle on.
I was at a fleet management conference recently, and some of the people I spoke to afterwards, they said to me, I had a number of people say, I spoke to the guy with the hat. Can you give me his number?
Yeah, okay. You remembered.
It's the guy with the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Or I had someone else come up and say, so-and-so told me to come and speak to you because you're looking for this product. I can help because I do this. And they said, just go find the guy with the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a brand, but I mean, you mightn't feel comfortable wearing a hat. What's your brand? Your brand might be a brooch or a pin, or it might be a style of clothing or a style of hair, or it might be the way you interact with people.
Yeah.
Many years ago, when I worked for an electricity company and was doing business development, I would put a large, when they used to have business cards rather than digital ones. I am that old, yes.
Yeah. I've still got a business card.
I used to put a very large Freddo frog on the back of every business card.
Oh.
Because how many business cards did you get?
With a chocolate.
You'd remember the one with the chocolate on it.
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, a lot of people sometimes look and go, who is this Wally?
Yeah.
Sure. But what's the worst that you thought I was a Wally because I gave you a chocolate on your business card?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not going to hurt me. That's good.
I've got the cut through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if there's relevance, I'm now in your Evoke set. And then if you have the right personality and you engage with the person, then they'll remember and take it further. One of the things that I did and do, it's been a little bit harder with Friday being flexible days now that we've had COVID and all the rest of it.
Yep.
But in my culture, we have hot bread on a Friday night and a Saturday. And I would buy some and bring to the office, and it was hot, so I'd sneak a little bit. And I thought, well, I can't sneak a whole loaf this big. I started sharing it.
Yeah.
And I'd walk around the office, and I ended up sharing at one point in time 13 loaves of bread, and it would take me an hour and a half to walk around the office on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
And I just got into places. Literally board meetings would stop because I was walking around with the bread, and people would take the bread, and you get to meet people. Yeah. Hi, I've got some hot bread. Would you like some? Oh, really? Why are you sharing?
Why are you giving me bread? Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and who are you? I haven't met you before. Oh, you're Aaron. Okay. Well, what do you do, Aaron? Oh, you do that. Okay. Well, I'm in the property department, or I'm in this department. This is what I do. And
It opens up doors.
correct.
Yeah.
Starts conversations.
It's about making those connections with people, understanding what people do. Going back to human-centered design, what's the business do? Understand the business, understand the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can deliver your services better and you can prioritise better.
Yeah.
Because as an FM, you never finish your work.
No, and you're the face often. Like,
Correct.
I think about that a lot of the time. Facility managers don't get enough credit and often don't give themselves enough credit. And I can imagine having conversations with some FMs who would be like, I don't understand why I need a personal brand. I'm not the face of the company. I'm not the CEO or in the C-suite. I'm not an important person within the company. No, you are. You provide that space for every single person walking in to do their job. You make them comfortable.
Correct.
It all starts and stops with you. So that personal brand is just such an important aspect of the FM.
You are so
life.
right that FMs undersell themselves. People don't stop and think about what they do have. People think about what they don't have.
Yeah.
No one rings you to say, oh, thank you so much, Paul, the toilet flushed today.
Yes, no.
Yeah,
But they'll call you whenever it doesn't flush.
Correct,
And
right?
it won't be a thank you.
Correct. And so you are solving people's pain points. So in your pocket, you need to have a whole bunch of Codrils and pain pill relief, because that's what you do. You are the person that allows somebody else to do their substantive job. You make it happen.
Yeah.
If I take an extreme example that we all know about, one O-ring disintegrated on a space shuttle and the whole space shuttle blew up. It's a rubber ring.
Yeah.
Somebody made that rubber ring. So within what we do, and I'll give you a specific FM example, the stack of toilet roll holders.
Yeah.
So there's a bar that holds the toilet roll 2 and toilet roll 3 above.
Yeah.
Well, somehow we got a defective batch of toilet roll holders. Never come across that before. But the metal bar...
There's always going to be a defective of anything.
The metal bar that's holding the toilet roll holder didn't have enough tensile strength in it. So as you drop the toilet roll on, it dropped down and it grabbed the toilet roll below. So when you're trying to pull the toilet roll below, all you're getting is bits of confetti because it's grabbed and it can't come out.
Yeah.
And the builder didn't believe me. And I'm going, you need to come in and replace the toilet roll holders.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with toilet. Like, stop it. I said, it's the cleaners. The cleaners are putting the rolls in wrong. No, it's not the cleaners.
Yeah.
It's the...
You come and put a roll in and show us.
Yeah, and so... And I ended up having to say to the builder, I don't care how beautiful the building is and how much money I've spent on it and how many outdoor barbecues and accessible benches and IT equipment and beautiful carpet and trees and paintings and imagery I've got. If I need to go to the toilet and I can't wipe, I'm not coming into the office. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No.
That's who we are. We need to take that pain pill from somebody and fix that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you understand that, then you can prioritise and if you understand the business better, you can prioritise the pain.
Yeah.
And you can, yes, I understand you've got issues and I understand you've got issues, but I can only do one of these right now. And that way you can understand where people are going and you can negotiate and you've built that trust with them. And if you've got that visible presence and they know that you're going to communicate with them, they know that you're going to respond, then you'll always get that benefit of the doubt.
Some of the best facility managers I think we interact with are the ones that already know the problem before the person who works in the building is coming to them. They've already anticipated the complaint. They've already anticipated the headache. And not only do they carry the Codral or the pain medicine with them, but they're almost delivering it to the person. They know the person who's got the headache. And they go, hey, I know this is going to be a headache for you. We've got it sorted. So anticipating that as well is something really important.
Yes, very much so.
And those are the best FMs I've seen out in the space. So those people who can get ahead of the game. I think one of the things that we see a lot of in the space is reactive FM, because you are pulled in so many directions and you're solving so many problems. You end up just losing traction and losing focus on being proactive in areas. How have you managed to stay on top of that, and be proactive in your career?
I've looked at life cycle plans and looked at things that we need to do, and I've written them on a list, and then I've gone to management and said, well, these are things that we should be doing.
Yeah.
Now, this is how much budget you've given me, and this is how much budget's on the list.
Yeah.
I need to reserve this much for unplanned reactive stuff, which leaves me that much for planned, other than the compliance maintenance. I'm talking about things like upgrading air conditioners prior to their need to have the gas replaced, for example, or putting in solar prior to, or replacing carpet before it becomes threadbare, or those kinds of things. Or standardising IT equipment in the building so that people actually can use it, because it's not different from room to room. It works the same. So it's basically, look, these are the things, these are the benefits. So in the business cases that I put forward, I actually put a dollar value on the soft benefits.
Okay.
I put a dollar value on staff turnover. I put a dollar value on brand impact. How unproductive is that staff member going to be, and therefore how is that impacting their job and their efficiency? And you put a dollar value on it.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, I want to install this. It's a across the board upgrade. Or I want to put plants in the building. So someone came to me and said, I started getting these bills through for a particular office, and it was $800-900 a month for rental of plants. And I said, well, that's $10,000 a year. And they went, sure. And I said, and we've got 400 sites. So do the maths.
Yeah.
We're now in the millions.
Yeah.
And so what are we going to do there in terms of what we're spending? If I came to somebody and said, right, I'd like some dollars, please, so that we can put some plants in our offices. Yeah, you're laughing, right? But it's hard to sell that aesthetic. Okay, plants filter the air.
Yeah.
They provide a nicer environment for people to work for. They help with staff retention. Can I actually turn around and say how many staff are going to stay because we've got plants? No.
Yeah.
Okay, but if it means that people are more coming to work more, you get better interactions. So you put a guesstimate dollar figure on it.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, this is what plants is worth.
Yeah.
With and without plants.
Yeah.
Now, is it rubbery? Maybe. Excuse me, that wasn't a pun on a rubber tree. But you sort of put a dollar value to it, and then you say, well, this is a prioritise, and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then you start rolling it out. And so, if you look at people's safety, people's comfort, and you couch your maintenance in those things, you always plan some projects, and you just hit them one at a time and roll them out. Now, you might roll it out over 5 years. You might do chair replacement over 5 years rather than 1 year, because you actually want to do chair replacement and plants and solar. Now, you can only afford one of those. Well, you know what? I'm actually going to do all three. They're going to have a timeline across the board.
Yeah.
And try and roll that out in the areas where the staff are most disaffected. And then bring it back to the other places. So if you roll it out in regions, you suddenly find that the us and them attitude starts to disappear because we're getting it before central office is.
That's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
So therefore people start to feel more engaged.
Yeah.
It's like a game of chess
Yeah.
you're playing. Yeah.
It's psychology.
Yeah.
It's not about manipulating people, it's about understanding people and trying to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All too often the regional sites are all getting the dregs, the leftovers, whatever we're ripping out of main site, that can go there.
We'll send the chairs that we've just replaced down to Geelong or wherever. Yeah, we see it a lot. It's funny that you say that, you can do stuff in segments. A lot of, as you said, some of our best and favourite facility managers that we work with, they'll have X amount of budget towards the end of the year for their final cleans, and they might go, Sam, I can spend $2,000 on some chair cleaning. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then they go, we've got 3,000 chairs. It's not going to fit. And I go, okay, perfect. How about we just do the dirtiest 1,000 of them, and then next year we'll do the dirtiest 1,000, and you keep on going that way. And they've been able to keep everyone a lot happier, but also, as you said, like it helps them plan further down the track rather than I can only do X amount now. You can do all of them, but you just have to spread it out
Over time.
Or
alternatively, Sam, I know you're not the Bank of Sam, but what if you were to do double the amount and could you charge me a small interest rate?
Ooh.
Ooh, interest rates.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll bring that forward, and you charge me an extra fee.
Yeah.
So my $2,000 that I've got to clean, or whatever it was, to clean the chairs, maybe I spend $1,900 on cleaning and $100 on the facilitation of that, and in fact you give me $4,000 worth this year, and we spread it across time, because you know that you're going to get the money on a regular basis, and create those programs.
Yes.
And so suddenly, again, you then get a loyal supplier, and you get staff that are happier.
Everything we do is all in programs, or all we're trying to do is in programs, because we know that it's easier on cash flow, and it helps to maintain, and all of the assets last longer if we're doing it that way. And it means we can be more nimble and reactive because we're in the facility a lot more.
Yep.
So we enjoy people who can see that vision and see what we're trying to achieve, bringing that on, because it just makes their lives a lot easier in the long run.
Yeah, correct.
When we do that, I liked what you said before about the interest rate. You think very creatively. Where does that come from, you reckon?
Just as I said, they don't even give me the rag, so I've got to try and make it work.
Yeah.
And look, the bottom line is, I also do a lot of lease negotiation, and I learnt a lot when I went to work for a large organisation, and they had a lease that was on its second iteration that had never been signed. Well, the term was on its second. They'd taken up the option, but they hadn't signed the lease the first time because they couldn't agree on some points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I flew up to Queensland, and I met with a very large leasing organisation, a very large landlord, and said, "What are your issues? Why can't you sign this clause?" And they said, "Well, for this reason." I said, "Really? Huh. Well, the reason we can't sign the same clause is for that reason, which is not your reason. So how about I adjust the clause to cover off your issue, and you adjust the clause to cover off my issue?"
Yeah.
And that we had the lease signed within a day. So the reason I go down that path, it's about the win-win, the understanding. Where do you make your money? Where are your pain points? So if I understand your business and we've got a true partnership, and you know that I'm not understanding it to rip you off and screw you down.
Yes.
I'm doing it to make sure that you get your money. So if I feel that in parts of the contract you're not making the right amount of money, I'll lift the price. Mm-hmm. If there are other parts where I think you're making too much money, I'll ask, well, can you explain that?
Yeah.
And you then understand what people's pain points are, where their margins are, and how they, again, if you understand how their business runs, you can then turn around and negotiate creatively, because you're not just accepting the quote that's in front of you. You're actually understanding their business.
Yes.
So where some businesses have a per user license or a per site license, I say to them, is there an increased cost per user after X amount? No. Is there an increased cost per site after X amount? You know, if you've got this much data storage that you've allocated for us, whether we've got 400 sites or 450 sites, does it actually increase your cost?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you walked in here, you had a figure in your mind that if you were going to go back to your boss and say, hey, I've just got a contract that's going to make us X dollars profit, your boss would be happy, correct? Okay. Sam, what is that figure that you need to make your boss happy? Yeah. And is that figure less than the price that you've just quoted me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's cut out all the games.
Okay. So if I can give you a fair profit, I understand you've got a model that says you've got to do this, but what's a fair figure?
Yeah.
Okay, fair figure is this. Great. Okay, I don't care how you write it up, whether it's per site, per user, or just a flat dollar figure.
Yeah.
It's a fair price for you. It's a fair price for me.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
We both used to work in tech sales or software sales. And you see that all the time where like just the inflated figures, number one, but the tech sales world in particular is quite toxic and something we've tried to break free from in the way we operate our sales, because it just wasn't fair. So we would be on calls and demo the software and try and get a person to sign up for the software there and then, put a lot of pressure, and then we'd be like, oh, let me just go and see if I can get this discount for you. And we'd mute our thing and pretend we were talking to a manager. Like that's the way they trained us to it just didn't sit right. So we left very quickly. But it's that whole mindset of if we can get a few extra dollars out of people, we will. But it doesn't do anything for the lifelong relationship of that business. The churn rates on people cancelling their subscriptions with that company was ridiculously high. And I say all the time, like I talk to our team all the time about the fact that if we just do this honestly and we build relationships, we solve people's problems, and we're just the go-to for them, they call us, we're on speed dial, then we're going to have a lifelong relationship with these people. We might not make like a lot of money here in this initial term, but they're not going to cancel after that 1 year because they've found something cheaper, because they just love the service we give, and so we've got this lifelong relationship. And I think that's what you're basically saying, right? Like it's a relational game.
It is a relational game. Most of my suppliers are friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And they come. We have business meetings at my house, and we go for lunch, and we'll have a 2-hour business meeting, which is actually 15-minute walk down to the local falafel joint. What do you want to pick up as a falafel? Walk back to my place. We're talking about how the family is and what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the last half hour is, oh, geez, we better actually get the work done. And you crunch through it because you're of a common mind.
Yeah.
What is it that we need to do? And you just go straight through it. And that means that you get things done so much better. There's so much more trust both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I genuinely agree. Like I love most of the facility managers we work with. We've got this personal relationship with them. We were only having coffee with one last week and sat down for like an hour.
Yeah, before we actually started talking about anything to do with their facility or their carpets or anything like that.
Talking about our lives. And
I mean, I'm working for Vasey. Unfortunately, the accommodation that we have, what happens is people stay out and they generally pass on. And so therefore the room's empty and there's a waiting list. We've got a long waiting list of other veterans wanting to get into our premises.
Yeah.
We don't have time to rescope, retender, et cetera, et cetera. You want to have the room turned over. So going back to pocket full of Codrils and pain pills, the supplier who's putting the carpet down is part of my pain pill solution. Yeah. If I can't trust you to do that in a timely fashion, then you're actually not solving my problem. You're making my life worse for me. Yeah. So I've got to have that trust factor. Yeah. You need to have that trust factor that I'm going to call you when I have business. There might be times when I said I've got this much business and it actually turns out I've got this much business because that's life. But you know that I'm not lying to you and you know that's the amount of business that I'm giving you because that's what I've got. And through thick and thin, you work together. Now, that doesn't mean that you have the opportunity to rip me off. I'm still going to go to market every now and then to test the market price. Yeah. Because I still got to have probity because we are the custodian of data dollars. Yes. I need to be able to look that donor in the eye and say, we've used your dollar to get the best value possible. Not the best price, the best value.
Absolutely.
And so therefore we still go to market, you still test, you still keep people competitive, but you know you're getting a competitive price with a great service, and often it's that great service. If I can turn the room over quicker with the refurb, then I can get somebody in quicker, which is a benefit to the veterans, but it's also a benefit in the rent that you're charging them because you get that rent in earlier. So it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
The question I have is I know you did a webinar about cowboys in the industry. You've obviously had an amazing no dig on the hat, I swear.
All the shoes.
No, the shoes are beautiful. You've obviously had such a long and successful career. How have you been able to, know who is trying to hoodwink you and just trying to get in there, and how did you know these are the people that I wanted to build that long-lasting relationship with, especially for facility managers that are just starting to get in and don't know how to tell the difference between those sort of people?
Go to your networking events. Go to the Facilities Management Association. I'm also part of the Fleet Management Association for vehicles.
Yeah.
Go to those association events. Go to the Property Council events. Ask people for a coffee.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a podcast. I would hazard a guess that they could ring you up and say, "Hey, I need some advice."
Yeah.
And get advice from different people and compare it. Sam told me this. I don't understand it. Can you tell me if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Ask the question and be curious. Curiosity is the best thing. Polite curiosity as to how you do your job, and you learn a lot better, and you learn to save money because you're asking the questions, and therefore you can ask the silly question. I've just had an insurance job come through, and they've sent me a scope, and I've written back to them and said, "Well, you've missed this, you've missed this, you've missed this, and you've added this." And they've gone, "Oh, yeah, we shouldn't have added that, so we'll save some money there." No, we did forget to leave off connecting the gas appliances, and so we will, like, really, you forgot to, I won't share which insurance company it is.
Yeah.
But you just pick these things up as you go along because you're asking the questions.
Yeah.
So tell me, why are you taking a full 3 days to lay these carpet tiles? Well, the reason is because the builder has actually not given us a smooth surface on the concrete.
Yeah.
And so we actually need to, if you look at it, let me show you, the floor's got a lot of this in it, and you're going to feel it. Take your shoes off and stand here on this floor. Can you just walk across this floor? Can you feel the difference in the floor? Oh, yeah, I can. Okay, so you don't want to feel that in the finished product. So what we have to do is we have to get some ardit, and we have to fill the gaps up in the floor, and we need to let that set.
Yeah.
Okay. What's ardit? Oh, well, ardit is a liquid format of product, and because it's liquid, it forms the right level.
Yeah.
And so you put it in and it bonds to the surface. And so we've got to let that dry, and then we've got to make sure that, we could put a screed on or not, as the case may be, and then we've got to put the carpet tiles down. So that's why it's going to take more than a day. We thought it would take a day, but it's going to take 3 days because we've got to do the arditing.
Yeah.
Oh, now you know about arditing.
Yeah.
So now when you write a lease or you write a building spec, you put in the building spec that the floor must be level, plus or minus 5 millimetres across the level of the floor.
Yeah.
So that means that when you go into a lease and the floor's out by this much, and you put that in your lease because the salesperson on the lease didn't understand what that meant, or didn't understand the builder had done the wrong thing, suddenly you save yourself $50,000.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to putting that operable wall on top of that carpet, you now have an operable wall that can work, because the seal on an operable wall can only go maximum, I think it's like 50 millimetres. So if you've got a floor that goes like this because you took a lease in what used to be an old car park, and so they didn't actually care about the level of floor. Real story. I'm not making this up.
I can tell it's a real story. It's coming from a real deep place.
So you've now saved yourself literally tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Why? Because you were just asking people how they do their job.
Yeah.
And you're a sponge, which I think is the real lesson for facility managers, or anyone in facilities, is being a sponge, being able to retain that information, which I was so impressed that you knew what it was. So
Look, I hope you don't mind me standing here next to you. I just want to learn what it is that you're doing. Do you mind if I just watch for 10 minutes and ask you some questions?
Yeah.
great.
Most people, I mean, there are times you can't do that, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
But most people are actually happy that someone's taking an interest in their boring, mundane job,
Yeah.
what it is that you do.
And most of the trades or suppliers take pride in their work, so they'd love to talk about it for a few seconds, right?
Yeah. And people like it when people are interested in them and what they're doing. So like when a facility manager goes, "Oh, what's that? Why are you doing it that way?" In a respectful manner, not like a "why are you doing that?" but like
correct.
a really curious way. People go, "Oh, wow, this is why, and this is how I'm doing it, and these are the reasons, and this is why it's going to look better than if I did a quick little shortcut that way."
Correct.
We recently had one of our casual cleaners in a job one night, and he's a young guy, probably like early 20s, and they were cleaning chairs for a facility, and one of the facility team members came in and started asking him questions. Not the person who'd booked the job, didn't really know that we were meant to be in there. Started asking this young guy some questions, and the young guy took it upon himself to start saying, and you've got some stains in the floor over here, and I know we don't do your floors yet, but he did the whole, like he's like, this is why we would, like whoever's looking after your floor right now is doing you a disservice. And he called me the next day and said, I hope I didn't overstep the mark. But he started asking questions, and I just couldn't help but tell him why I'm passionate about what I do. I was like, exactly. That's it. No, it's great. It's relational. He's now just seen you're passionate. That's what he wants. He wants someone who cares about what they're doing in his facility.
I need to save some money on the cleaning. Well, I can't clean the whole premises for less hours.
No.
Okay, can you just tell me what you do? Well, I go and first thing we do is we empty the bins. Okay, so what does that involve? Well, we go to every desk and we take the bin liner out of every bin, and we then put a new bin liner in. Okay.
I used to work in a building where they did this.
There are 400 desks in this building.
Yep.
And
there's one apple core in that one bin.
And if it takes you 1 minute to go to the bin and pull it out, tie a knot in it, put it in the bigger bag, rip off the bin liner, put the new bin liner in, and then go to the next bin, that's 400 minutes.
Yeah.
We're already cutting into our time here.
It's a lot of time. 400 minutes is, 6 hours, 7 hours, right? No, even if it's half a minute, it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
So really, you spend 3 hours a night emptying the bins. How full are the bins? Well, some of them are really full and some of them aren't. Okay, what if we let them go for 2 days and did it every second day? Well, some of them got food in them. Okay, maybe just do the ones that got food in them and let the other ones accumulate and do those ones every second day. Yeah? What about centralising bins?
Now we're talking.
Centralise the bin. Well, yeah, but people are going to complain that there's no bin. Yes, but sell it to them as it's part of the corporate health program. You actually need to do the squats. Do the squats and get up and go for a walk and get the blood going and not have the eye tension on the screens. That's why it's actually not just about
getting you to stand. My watch tells me to stand every hour.
Correct. So it's not just about cost. It's actually a holistic picture.
Yeah.
And the waste. I remember sitting at my desk watching a cleaner come and pick up the bin, and it literally had one scrunched up piece of paper, and I thought, this has got the rest of I could sit here for a week and not fill this.
Yeah.
Like the wastage that's involved in that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you just got to be creative, I think. Be a sponge, be creative, be relational.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned from you today.
Beautiful.
I love it. Thank you so much for jumping on the podcast.
Absolutely.
I reckon we could have 2 more episodes because you're just so easy to talk to, and you've got great ideas, which I love. But thank you so much.
Really appreciate the honour of being invited. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you, Paul.